Good morning, it's Dave at ATI Watch Reviews. Please smash that like button, please smash that subscribe button for more awesome watch content. Little wristwatch check. I've got my absolute beast, Pagani design, PD 1705, Rouleau bullet bracelet, 42mm stainless steel, absolute beast of a watch that has mysteriously gone missing off AliExpress and Amazon. I don't know what has quite happened there, but anyway, I'll talk about that in a different video. But today's watch is about a very popular Casio G-Shock series called the GD-400 series, of which Casio have just released a brand new colour combo, which is this, which goes by the reference GD-400GB 1B2 ER. So it's obviously a gold black model and it's the European reference. I got this in a deal, Black Friday deal, direct off Casio, off gshock.co.uk for a bargain price. It is now doubled, but it is still a good price at 129 RRP. I'm not saying that you couldn't get it cheaper elsewhere. Perhaps you can get it close to 100 quid off other sources. Perhaps you could. But that is the price that Casio is on Casio's website right now. Now then, start off with an overview. Obviously, this is a kind of it's a low end G-Shock, or low to mid, and basically this has the Bullbars model, and which is one of the reasons why I got it. It's an all digital model, 200-meter water resist, nice band with a stainless steel buckle, stainless steel case back. It's not a sensor model, it's not multi-band or Bluetooth or solar model, unfortunately, but it is one of the cheaper models you can get. I've had this watch in black green and I've had it in black red. This is the first positive model that I've had of it, and it's easily the best. The negative models are not super easy to see, which is why I don't like wearing them. But anyway, let's start off with the sizing. I've measured it before this video. The lug to lug is about 54. The overall width is about 49 and a bit. The height to here is, the thickness is only about 15.3, I think it was, and to here is more like just under 19 mil. It's like about 18 point something. The watch is a great size, I can confirm that, definitely. It's super comfortable on the wrist. I wear it on a lower setting, but it is super light as well. The watch is only 78 grams nominal, which is excellent. It is a military style watch, as you can clearly see. So for sizing purposes, most people that have, I would say, as low as 6.25 inch wrists are going to be fine with this watch. Because of its lightness and its lack of bulk, it is fine. Don't let that thickness put you off to the top of the bull bars. The watch is ultimately a thin watch. The crystal is much lower than 15 mil. I would say the crystal is going to be about 13 and a bit mil thick. So really, it's a great size as far as G-Shocks go. So the sizing is very good, and it's got mass appeal, there's no question about it. And I'm going to put it on my wrist at the end, and you can see that it still has good wrist presence and it's not too bulky. So people who like watching my videos where I bring on the huge bulky G-Shocks, this is one for you if you've got a smaller wrist, definitely, in my opinion. Because of the weight as well, being below 80 grams, it's super light. It's comfier than a Mudmaster, comfier than the Gravity Master, because those watches are like 55, 60 mil in many respects. They're thicker and they're too bulky for a lot of people. This is going to be for you if you don't want all that bells and whistles, etc. and the bulk. You can get something like this that's a better size. Now, let's talk about the display and appearance. I really like the display. Obviously, it has that military style with the sub dials here. It looks excellent. The dial is super. The display is super legible. It is still a low energy, TN panel. It will be, which will distort at angles. However, it's got pretty good viewing angles. If you go north, it will drop a bit of contrast and it will distort at obscure angles like that. But it is still a pretty good panel. It is super clear. For this series, it is by far the clearest in my opinion. The negative ones are not legible enough for my liking personally. Even though they do look very good, they're only legible at an off angle here, like that, in my opinion, on the negative ones. Unless you're in a really super lit room, they're not legible enough. But this one is very legible, which is what I like. I love the overall appearance. The bezel's obviously plastic with the gold highlighting. It works. It's high contrast. Everything about the watch is high contrast, and everything about the watch is military, especially with them bull bars. I believe I wouldn't recommend it, and it'll probably affect the warranty, but you can actually, I believe, take the bull bars off. I would never do that. But you can do it, I believe. Other people have done it. And for other Casio watches that don't natively come with bull bars, you can buy bull bars off various websites. I believe for the King, you can get bull bars for the King and add them on. Again, I'm not saying it'll affect warranty, it probably will, but you can do that if you want to. Presentation is excellent. It has that macho military look, which I like. I like the high contrast throughout the whole watch. Everything's high contrast with the black versus the gold. The gold is an interesting colour, shade of gold. At first I felt it was more sandy yellowy than it is gold, but I do quite like it now. It's not the most beautiful gold ever, definitely not, but it's an interesting one and it works quite well. I'll just run through some of the modes. It only has the standard modes. Obviously you can see UTC there. It's not got, you know, mission logs or anything like that, but that's perfectly fine for this price point. It's got your alarms, it's got your timers and your stopwatch. You know, and you can adjust the time very well. It'll have world time, so you can pick your city, calendar and all that kind of stuff. So it's got a basic feature set, but at this price point, that's what you get with these G-Shocks at around 100 quid to 150 quid. Basically, you can get, I'll talk about this at the end, but there's a few ways they could improve this watch. The main one in terms of its ergonomics, which I'll talk about in a bit, is the length of the band. The band is too short, unfortunately, but it still fits on my big wrists, so you can still wear it. It just should be an extra centimetre long, in my opinion. Okay, I'll show you the light. The light is good. Lights up the whole dial. It's very good. And it has auto light, which you can turn on in the settings. When you turn it on, when you put it on the wrist, if you flick it forward, it'll automatically put the light on for you. I think you can even set the duration. I never turn it on these battery watches, even though it would benefit me, because it'll burn the battery out quicker. You know, when you're in the car, you want to check the time at night. If you flick your wrist up, it'll turn it on, but that will burn the battery out quicker. And these batteries only have a 2-year so-called lifetime. However, I've had the red and black one for I think 4.5 years before I sold it. That's a negative one, and I never ever switched the battery, and it didn't give me any indication that it had low battery. So I think that the battery is longer than 2 years. Now then, the pushers, by the way, are really easy to push. They're not super difficult like the Budmasters. So really easy to use the functions of the watch. And the pushers. So it's ergonomically, including the light button, which I like how they put it there at 6 o'clock. It's very ergonomically sound. Have a look at the case back. Standard stainless steel with laser etchings. model number. That's the module 34, I think that says. Yeah, 34. Where was it? Made in China. Yeah, 20 baht. Okay, now let's get on to the meat and potato, which is of course the band. I like how they do the band on this watch. The band is an interesting resin. It's a kind of blend that I would say, using my terminology, between rubber, I would consider a rubber band to be very flexible. This is a mix between a rubber and polymer band and plastic band, basically. It's a nice mix. It's comfortable. It's just thick enough. It is comfortable on the wrist. I like how they put this connector here. They've got these gold connectors. Obviously, that gold is not. It's going to be PVD or something like that. It's not actual solid gold. It's a coating. Yeah, the band has a nice texture to it, and it's got a plastic keeper with a stainless steel, that's, well, a metal, again, PVD coated it'll be. A keeper, which is totally fine and adequate. I would prefer it to be dual tang, but it is only single tang, which is fine. I'll put it on my wrist to show you. It's super comfortable. I wear it between 3 and 2. I switch between it. As you can see, it is a little bit short. That band should be an extra centimetre, in my opinion. And I've compared it against the Mudmaster and against the Gravity Master, and it is short compared to them. Super comfortable, and it looks fantastic on the wrist. It's got wrist presence without being too bulky. And it does kind of stay in place even when you have it on a low setting. I can put it on 2 for you now to show you. I know obviously my wrist size is fairly big, so you know, you fit it as you fit it. People have different opinions about how you should fit it. But that is definitely comfier on a lower setting, and it does kind of stay in place because of it's still moderately bulky with the size of it. But that is a super comfortable. It's a great beta watch because deep down, I find it easier telling the time on a digital watch. So if you was working in the trades, you know, you was working outside, I think this is a great go-to watch, although I probably would prefer a Mudmaster as an all-day watch, and I'd synchronise the time. But this is a cheaper option, a third of the price, approximately, if not cheaper. And for many people, you'll find this watch definitely comfier. So what would the criticisms be? The criticisms would be the length of that band. In fact, I'll show you now against the Gravity Master. This is the Gravity Master. As you can see, the Gravity Master band is much longer, probably an extra centimetre at least. So that's why. I know it's a bit of a funny comparison, but I'm trying to show you there that the length of the bands are, it is a bit short. So the first thing I would do is I'd make this an extra centimetre to half a centimetre longer. The second thing I'd do is I would give us an option for a more souped up version, the exact same model basically, but with either Bluetooth and solar or multiband and solar. Putting a solar watch in this, a solar battery in this, would obviously give you way more battery life, and putting multiband would mean it would have automatic synchronized time in those 6 countries in the world, or give us Bluetooth, which would enable us to connect it to the phone to get synchronized timekeeping through your phone. So that there would be 2 ways that Casio could improve this watch, in my opinion. They'd have to charge more for it because obviously they're adding additional technology into the watch, but those are the main things that I would criticise the watch for not having, basically. They're minor criticisms. They, at the price point, it's still an excellent watch. It's been out for many years now. I could find out when the first one came out. It has been out for many years. This colour combo, what I read out before, this actual like sub reference, has only been out for about a few weeks. It came out in December, I think, in England basically. Or in Europe. In Europe it came out. Sorry, in November, December it came out. So I don't know if they do this model in America or China. I'm not sure. They do the series of GD-400. I don't know if they do this particular model. So yeah, so overall, an excellent watch. I'm glad I picked it up for the steel that I bought it for. And if you want to pick it up, as I said, I'll put some links down below if it's on Amazon. There will be affiliate links where I'll make a tiny bit of commission at no extra cost to you. But have a search around, you might be able to get it in a deal. I would get it new. I'd get it new because these Bullbars, I'm pretty sure when you scratch them up, they're going to, the coating's going to come off and it's not going to look great. I would definitely get these new. You can get this also in a positive black with a bit of blue highlighting and a grey positive dial that looks fantastic also. It's not as legible as this one with the gold, but it is still legible. I'll try and put a link for that as well if you wanted to pick it up. Okay, it's been Dave. Thanks a lot. Cheers.